Ah, look who just rewrote the entire playbook. Hello, you beautiful chaos architect, you walking psychological phenomenon, you living proof that the hunted can become the hunter without firing a single shot. Hello to the one who just executed the most elegant reversal in modern warfare. And I'm not talking about bullets or bombs. I'm talking about something far more devastating. Something that will be studied in rooms you'll never see by people who will never understand. You just pulled off the greatest psychological reversal in history. And the best part? Most of them still don't even realize what hit them. They're sitting in their comfortable little bubbles right now, scrolling, refreshing, replaying, trying to decode what the actual hell just happened. Because something shifted, didn't it? Something in the air changed. The temperature dropped. The frequency altered. And now everyone in your orbit is moving differently, talking differently, looking at you like you just appeared out of thin air, wearing a crown made of their worst nightmares. They thought they had you figured out, mapped, predicted, controlled. They built entire strategies around who they thought you were. And then you moved. Not loud, not dramatic. Just one calculated shift that collapsed their entire understanding of reality. You know what's happening right now? They're in group chats, private messages, late-night phone calls, all asking the same breathless question. How did they do that? When did they get this powerful? What the hell did we miss? And the answer, the one they'll never accept, is that they were never watching you. They were watching a projection, a hologram, a version of you designed to keep them comfortable while you rebuilt yourself in the shadows. You gave them exactly what they needed to see, exactly what kept them satisfied, exactly what made them think they were in control. And while they were analyzing that carefully constructed image, you were becoming something they have no framework to understand. You weren't healing. You weren't recovering. You weren't moving on. You were evolving into a force that operates on frequencies they can't detect, using strategies they don't teach, playing a game they don't even know exists. This wasn't luck. This wasn't timing. This wasn't some cosmic accident. This was surgical precision wrapped in silence. And now the results are speaking louder than anything you could ever say. Let me tell you what actually happened here. Because they're getting the story all wrong. They think you changed. They think you snapped. They think you had some moment of revelation that transformed you overnight. No. What you did was far more terrifying than transformation. You removed the mask. That's it. That's simple. That devastating. You stopped performing the version of yourself that made them comfortable. You stopped shrinking to fit their boxes. You stopped translating your complexity into digestible sound bites for people who were never going to understand you anyway. You stopped apologizing for being too much, too intense, too aware, too awake. And the moment you stopped performing, the moment you allowed your actual frequency to emanate without filter, without apology, without concern for their comfort, that's when the entire structure collapsed. Because they built their confidence on your submission. They built their status on your silence. They built their reality on you playing small. And when you stopped, when you simply existed at full volume, their entire world revealed itself as the house of cards it always was. Here's what's happening in their minds right now, and this is the beautiful part. They're experiencing what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, but at a level most people never encounter. Their brain is trying to reconcile two incompatible realities. Reality one, you were the person they categorized, the one they labeled, the one they filed away in their mental archive as solved, understood, managed. Reality 2. You are now operating at a level that makes their previous assessment look like amateur hour. Like they were trying to measure the ocean with a teaspoon. Their mind is literally short-circuiting, trying to bridge those two versions, and the only way they can cope is to create stories. You got lucky. You faked it. You had help. You changed. Anything except the truth, which is that they were never actually seeing you in the first place. They were seeing their projection of you, their need for you to be a certain way, their requirement that you stay beneath their level of threat tolerance. And now that the real you has emerged, now that the actual force has revealed itself, they can't process it. So they panic, they gossip, they analyze, they theorize, all while you sit in perfect stillness, knowing that their confusion is your confirmation. You want to know the real genius of what you just did? You didn't attack anyone. You didn't expose anyone. You didn't even defend yourself against the years of mischaracterization, the silent judgments, the whispered doubts. You simply became undeniable. That's the move they can't counter. They spent years trying to diminish you with words, with looks, with strategic exclusion, with subtle undermining. They thought power was about making noise, about being seen, about forcing recognition. But you understood something they never will. Real power is about becoming so undeniable that reality itself has to bend around you. You don't need to announce your value when your presence rewrites the room. You don't need to defend your worth when your results speak in languages they can't translate. You don't need to prove anything when your existence alone makes people reconsider everything they thought they knew. This is the reversal they're choking on. They thought they were in position of strength, sitting in judgment, holding the power to include or exclude you from their little kingdoms. And you flipped it. You made them irrelevant without saying a word. You made their approval worthless by no longer seeking it. You made their validation obsolete by finding something far more powerful, self-generated certainty. Let's talk about what you survived to get here. Because they think this power came easy. They think you just woke up one day radiating this frequency. They have no idea about the nights you spent rewiring your entire neural architecture. They don't know about the months you spent in silence, not because you were hiding, but because you were rebuilding from the foundation up. They weren't there when you had to kill every version of yourself that was built for their approval. When you had to burn down every identity that was constructed for their comfort. They didn't see you sitting with the pain, the betrayal, the isolation, choosing not to become bitter but to become better, not to seek revenge but to seek evolution. They don't know about the work you did in the dark, the brutal honesty sessions with yourself, the moments you had to admit that you were complicit in your own diminishment by caring what they thought. This power they're witnessing now, it's not new. It's not sudden. It's the result of excavation work they can't imagine. You dug through layers of conditioning, through generations of programming, through every lie you were told about who you had to be. And what you found underneath all that debris wasn't weakness. It was a force so pure, so concentrated, so undiluted by outside influence, that when you finally let it emerge, it changed the atmospheric pressure in every space you occupy. Here's what they're really afraid of, and this is going to sound harsh, but you need to hear it. They're not afraid of what you did. They're afraid of what it means about them. Your reversal, your rise, your undeniable emergence, it's a mirror. And that mirror is showing them something they've been running from their entire lives. It's showing them that they chose comfort over growth, that they chose approval over authenticity, that they chose the safety of the crowd over the risk of becoming who they actually are. Every time they look at you now, they see the path they didn't take. They see the courage they didn't have. They see the price they weren't willing to pay. And that creates a rage in them that they can't direct at themselves, so they direct it at you. They call you arrogant when you're just confident. They call you cold when you're just boundaried. They call you changed when you just stopped pretending. But underneath all those words, underneath all that analysis, is pure, unadulterated envy. Because you did something they can't even conceptualize. You broke free from the need for their validation, and in doing so, you became more powerful than any version of yourself that needed them. That's the reversal that's making them lose sleep. You don't need them anymore, and they know it. Now we enter the part they really can't handle, the part that makes their hands shake when they talk about you. You're not just powerful now, you're unreachable. There's a difference. Powerful people can still be manipulated through their ego, through their need for status, through their desire for more. But unreachable people, people who've transcended the entire reward system that society operates on, those are the ones who change reality. You can't threaten someone who's already walked through hell. You can't bribe someone who's found peace in nothing. You can't manipulate someone who's studied every tactic in the book and decided none of it applies to them anymore. This is where you are now. Not above them, not below them, just operating in a completely different dimension. They're still playing checkers, arguing about moves and counter moves, winning and losing. You stepped off the board entirely. You're not trying to win their game anymore. You built a new game with new rules, and the only person who knows how to play is you. That's what's creating this collective panic you're witnessing. They can't compete with someone who's not competing. They can't defeat someone who's not fighting. They can't diminish someone who's already found their floor and built a fortress on it. Let me tell you what's going to happen next, because you need to prepare for it. They're going to try to bring you back down. Not because they hate you, but because your elevation makes them confront their own stagnation. They're going to use every tool in the manipulation handbook. First, they'll try nostalgia. Remember when you used to be fun? Remember when you used to be one of us? They want you to associate your old self with happiness, your new self with isolation. Don't fall for it. Your old self wasn't happy, it was compliant. Second, they'll try concerned trolling. I'm just worried about you. You've changed. This isn't healthy. They want you to question your own evolution, to second guess your growth. Ignore it. Their concern isn't for your well-being, it's for their comfort. Third, they'll try the ultimate weapon, social isolation. They'll exclude you, talk about you, create narratives without you in the room. This is where most people break, where they come crawling back, desperate for belonging. But you've already died in isolation and resurrected stronger. Their exclusion has no power here. In fact, it's a gift. Every person who can't handle your evolution is removing themselves from your path, making room for the ones who can match your frequency. You know what the CIA actually studies? Not the loud revolutions, not the visible wars, not the obvious power grabs. They study silent operators, people who can enter a system, understand it completely, and reconfigure it from within without anyone realizing until it's too late. That's what you just did. You were in their system, playing their game, following their rules. And the whole time you were learning, adapting, understanding the machinery of their power structure. And then, when you had complete understanding, you didn't fight it. You simply stopped feeding it. You removed your energy, your attention, your need for approval. And without that fuel, their entire system of influence over you collapsed. This is genius-level psychological warfare. No confrontation, no drama, no bridge burning, just a quiet withdrawal of supply that left them scrambling to understand why their tactics stopped working. They're used to people fighting back, because fighting back keeps you engaged in their system. They're used to people explaining themselves, because explaining means you still care what they think. But you did neither. You just changed frequencies and left them screaming into the void. That's not just smart. That's operating at a level most people never reach. Here's the truth about reputation, and this is going to separate you from everyone still seeking validation. Reputation isn't what people say about you. Reputation is what people feel when your name comes up. And right now, when your name enters a conversation, the room changes. The energy shifts. People lean in, voices lower, because they know that talking about you isn't casual anymore. It's serious. It's loaded. It's walking through a minefield of their own jealousy, confusion, and reluctant respect. You've become the standard that makes everyone else feel insufficient. You've become the reminder that growth is possible, which means staying stagnant is a choice. You've become the evidence that authenticity is more powerful than performance, which means everyone still performing is revealed as fraudulent. This is why they can't stop talking about you. You're not just a person anymore. You're a referendum on their own lives. Every choice you make, every boundary you set, every standard you maintain, it's a mirror showing them what they're not doing. And they hate mirrors. They want you to go back to being small so they can go back to feeling big. But you can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unlearn what you've learned. You can't unbecome what you've become. The genie is out of the bottle, and there's no stuffing it back in. Let's talk about the silent power you're wielding now, because this is where it gets truly dangerous for them. You've discovered that the most potent weapon in human interaction isn't aggression. It's not cleverness. It's not even intelligence. It's calm certainty. When you speak now, you don't argue, you state. When you move, you don't rush, you flow. When you decide, you don't waver, you commit. This unshakable quality, this bedrock confidence that isn't loud or defensive, it terrifies people who are still trying to convince themselves of their own worth. They're used to people who get triggered, who react, who engage in endless back and forth trying to prove themselves. But you just exist in your truth with zero need for it to be validated by external sources. This creates a bizarre dynamic where they're arguing with themselves about you while you're not even in the conversation. They're building cases, gathering evidence, creating narratives, and you're just living, unbothered, unfazed, unmoved. And every day you remain calm while they spiral. Every day you stay centered while they scatter. Every day you maintain peace while they manufacture chaos. The power differential grows because they're burning energy trying to affect you, and you're conserving energy by not being affected. This is the ultimate reversal. They thought they were the ones with power over you, but now they can't even touch your emotional state. You're untouchable, and they're exhausting themselves against your indifference. You want to know what genius mode actually looks like? It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most free. Because intelligence without freedom is just sophisticated slavery. You can have a brilliant mind and still be controlled by your need for approval, your fear of rejection, your attachment to outcomes. But freedom, real freedom, the kind you've achieved, that's when intelligence becomes unstoppable. You can think clearly because you're not thinking about what they think. You can move decisively because you're not waiting for permission. You can create boldly because you're not afraid of judgment. This is the state that artists chase, that warriors cultivate, that leaders embody. And you found it not through seeking it, but through losing everything that prevented it. You lost the false friends and gained clarity. You lost the fake love and gained peace. You lost the illusion of belonging and gained yourself. Every loss was actually a shedding. Every ending was actually a beginning. Every death was actually a rebirth. And now you're operating from this place of such profound internal freedom that external circumstances can't shake you. They can praise you or criticize you, include you or exclude you, understand you or misunderstand you, and none of it changes your trajectory, because your power source is internal now, and they can't access it, can't manipulate it, can't shut it down. The greatest psychological reversal isn't about winning. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need to win because they're already complete. You're not trying to prove them wrong anymore. You're not trying to make them see your value. You're not trying to get revenge by succeeding. All of that still makes them central to your story. The real reversal happened when they became extras in your narrative instead of the main characters, when their opinions became background noise instead of gospel truth, when their presence became optional instead of essential. This is what's making them insane. They used to live rent-free in your head, and now they can't even get a visitor's pass. They used to be able to affect your mood with a look, your confidence with a word, your direction with their doubt. Now they're just people. Not enemies, not friends. Just people who exist in a reality you no longer share. And the crazy part is, you didn't have to hate them to get here. You didn't have to curse them or cut them off dramatically. You just outgrew the version of yourself that needed them, and in doing so, you outgrew them. It's not personal, it's just evolution. And evolution doesn't ask permission from the past. Here's what they'll never understand about the person you've become. You're not heartless. You're just done wasting heart on people who don't value it. You're not cold. You're just conserving warmth for those who appreciate it. You're not cruel. You're just no longer kind to people who weaponize kindness. You've learned the difference between being loving and being available for abuse. You've learned the difference between being forgiving and being a doormat. You've learned the difference between being understanding and being a dumping ground for people who refuse to do their own emotional work. These distinctions, these boundaries, they're what transformed you from someone who was nice to someone who is respected. Nice gets taken advantage of. Respected gets space. And now you move through the world with this aura that communicates without words. I'm not here for your games. I'm not interested in your drama. I'm not available for your manipulation. Approach correctly or don't approach at all. This energy, this frequency, it filters your reality automatically. The wrong people feel uncomfortable and leave. The right people feel recognized and stay. And you don't have to do anything except maintain your standards and trust the process.